When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Hi, I'm John Mallis. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. It is Friday, and today we'll be talking about the resurrection of marriage, a book written by our guest today. You may want to call in. We'll also talk about Proposition 8 and the mayor of Fresno and her big reversal. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Back in a moment. Back here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Welcome, my friends. It is Friday morning, and the weekend is upon us, and the San Francisco Giants play today, and their playoff game against the Washington Nationals starts in exactly 2 hours from now and a couple of minutes. They are in the nation's capital. But today we're going to be talking about marriage, and I have to start this program by saying that some people will do anything to get elected, including selling their souls. Today we're talking about marriage, and I harken back to yesterday's front page headline in the Fresno Bee about Mayor Ashley Swearingen doing the big flip-flop, the reversal on Proposition 8. Of course, Proposition 8 passed back in 2008. It says that the marriage is between a man and a woman and basically banned gay marriage here in the state of California. Thus, you fast forward to 2013, the court reversed it, and immediately many gay couples were getting married. Okay, are you for, are you against? We're not really debating that, but the mayor running for state controller doing a reversal, she now says she supports gay marriage. First, it was high-speed rail that she flip-flopped on. Then she's supporting Democrat Blong Jong running for Fresno County Supervisor. Some people will sell their souls to get into office, and it appears that our mayor is trying to do that, to try to lure that Democratic vote, because she's 17 points behind in the polls to Betty Yee, the Democrat. Of course, Swearingen being a moderate Republican, that's how she describes herself. I want to take you to a graphic. Here is what Mayor Swearingen told the Fresno Bee, and I'm quoting now. You can kind of read this for yourself. As a supporter of Prop 8 back in 2008, I recognize that the courts have overturned this measure and that same-sex marriage is the law in our state. Like most Californians, I believe it is time to move beyond this issue and focus our public policy energies on addressing the mountain of debt and outstanding liabilities that threaten the financial future of the next generation. I have no idea what this has to do with running for state controller, other than the fact that she's trying to lure the Democratic vote. She's behind in the polls, she's running for state controller, and she knows she's losing big-time ground. Our guest today, live in the studio, is Ron McClain. He has authored a book on the resurrection marriage, breathe new life into your relationship. That is the name of the book. It's right here. Ron is going to be along to talk about what happened with the mayor, Proposition 8. He is also a marriage counselor, and he wrote this book. I have not read it. He just brought it in today. We'll ask him what this is about, and your phone calls. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Is your marriage on the rocks? Are you in favor? Are you against Proposition 8? It's already been ruled. It's in the books. Last year, the court overturned it, and now it is legal for gay couples to get married here in California. We're back with your phone calls in this program in just a moment.
Retro TV, your home for classic television. The greatest shows in history are here for you to enjoy. Join Cosby and Culp as secret agent men in I Spy. Ride along the Ponderosa with the Cartwrights in Bonanza. Hit the beat with Joe Friday in Dragnet. And that's not all. Retro TV offers endless fun and excitement for the whole family to enjoy. Retro TV, the best in classic television.
You can find Retro TV on over-the-air channel 13.4.
All right, what do you think about the mayor's reversal on Proposition 8? Does it surprise you she's running for state controller and she's trying to lure that Democratic vote? Will it work? Like I said, some people are willing to sell their souls. First it was high-speed rail, then it was Blong Jong, and now this, my friend Ron McClain. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks,
Good.
John.
What do you think of
Good
this
to be
front
here.
page article? Let's get to that right at the get-go.
Well, when I opened up the paper yesterday and saw that, my heart just sank.
Because
Ashley Swearingen, a strong Christian and for traditional marriage, at least I thought she was, to read that article and to read her quotes just absolutely floored me, because what she's saying there is that she wants to get past the whole idea of traditional marriage versus gay marriage and work on the debt of California. And what I immediately thought was, we can get out of debt in California but be morally bankrupt. As far as, from my perspective, marriage is between a man and a woman. I respect all people. In fact, we've had gay couples in our classes. I have no problem with that.
is she a hypocrite?
Well, as far as the definition of a hypocrite, I would say yes, because you're actually saying you believe one thing, but you're actually then taking a stand for something different.
Just
And
for the
so-
sake of politics?
For the sake of politics. And it's pretty obvious that she's trying to fish for votes. I mean, and she's down in L.A. when she's saying this, I think.
Yeah, she's trying to lure that Democratic vote in Los Angeles and San Francisco, which is primarily Democratic, as you well know. Here in the Valley, predominantly conservative, and she's a moderate conservative. That's what people have dubbed her. And by the way, Mark Standrift, the communications director for the city of Fresno, has promised us he will ask Mayor Swearingen to come on this program. He hasn't done it yet. That was like 2 weeks ago. I asked him. I still haven't heard back. Anyway, whether or not she'll come on this program remains to be seen. She has a standing invite for the last 3 years and have yet to see her show up. So where does this leave us what should we take out of this? Just reading this headline. Don't even have to read the story. What do we take out of the headline, in your opinion?
In my opinion, my first thought was, here's a politician that is changing their position in order to get votes, because I knew she was 17 points down, and so my first thought was, I can't believe you're selling your soul.
Yeah. All right. Call coming in. Good morning, caller. You're on the air with Ron McClain. He's a marriage counselor and has written his fine book here.
Well, congratulations. And I'm for a marriage between a man and a woman, but we live in a democracy, so anybody can do whatever they want. And concerning the mayor, I'm surprised she hasn't gone on Spanish radio to get the Hispanic vote, just like our president did when he was running in '08. He went all over the Spanish TV, Spanish radio, promising the Latinos that if he won the presidency, that during his first 100 days of term, he would take upon himself for immigration reform. So maybe that's what the mayor should do. Get on the radio, go on Spanish radio, and promise us something, and she'll get the Democratic vote.
Well, I mean, that's not a sure thing either. I mean, people can look at this headline and kind of read through the fine print, and that is she's trying to lure votes. That's all it is. She doesn't if you were dig deep down inside Mayor Swearingen's soul, she does not really believe in gay marriage, does she?
I would not think so, especially being married to a pastor, and I was on her advisory council for a year when she first became mayor.
Yeah.
And from what I could tell, she was very conservative, very pro-marriage. We had several conversations. And so to read that headline just absolutely floored me, to think she could just flip-flop like that. If you're convicted about something, you don't flip-flop.
Okay, let me ask you, is that you're a Christian? Do you believe in gay marriage?
I do not. I
do not.
I believe in traditional marriage between a man and a woman.
But you are a counselor, and you will counsel gay couples if they come in to see you, because you will preach the gospel, I'm assuming.
Well, I counsel anybody that will come in, and we've had gay couples come to our classes, so I don't judge people, because that's not my job.
Correct.
My job is to help people learn communication skills regardless of their religious orientation.
Another call. Good morning, caller. What's your question?
Yeah, good morning. Just wanted to ask him that in his book and what he's written about, politics is politics, Ashley's way behind right now. I'm sure she is. And she has to, like, I hate to say being a hypocrite, that, she wants to get these votes, by saying what she said, and, she's not going to win the election. I can tell you that right now. Because she's agreeing with the issue, people already know how she went the first time. Now they're seeing her that she's behind in votes, so she changes herself. So when she goes, if she loses and she comes back to Fresno, a lot of people are gonna probably turn away from her too, being a mayor. I guarantee you. And I'm not an educated person, but I want to tell you one thing. I would remember what she did, leaving the city. I mean, prior to the issues that here in the city were more important than going on a campaign. Okay, once she got behind, she just wanted to make it known that she was for it. Okay, and she really wasn't. She would just turn the other cheek. Yeah, she needed to get the votes. But when she comes back to the Fresno and for a reality check, she's going to lose a lot of votes anyway, because she should have been here with the city council worrying about the full mall and issues, the stadium and whatever. But that's all I have to say.
Yeah. She's going to take a lot of heat after the election when she loses to Betty Yee here in Fresno. You think she'll have people turn away from her?
Well, yesterday I put a post on Facebook just saying that I was disappointed, and I was shocked at how many people jumped on and just said how disappointed they were and that she will not have their vote for state controller or for any other office in the future.
Well, she can't run for mayor again, so...
Right.
But, I mean, a lot of people who run for office, a lot of people in politics, and one comes to mind, Clint Olivier did a flip-flop on BRT. He completely changed his mind. For what reason, I have no idea. And when I was filling in for Bill Manders on Power Talk 96.7, he called in and I called him a flip-flopper. Got very upset. So when confronted with their role reversals or when they change their mind, they become angry in some cases, like Clint did with me.
Right. And I think people do that, not realizing perhaps that people are going to pay attention and they expect people to be people of their word. And obviously Ashley is not.
Yeah.
At this point.
Okay, you've written this book. Oh, by the way, before I get into the book, real quick, another phone call or no? We got to go to break? Got to go to break real quick here on Connect with Me. Ron McClain has written this wonderful book. It's called The Resurrection Marriage, Breathe New Life into Your Relationship. It is written by our guest, Ron McClain. I have a book right here, and you can call in, and he'll tell us how you can get a copy of it. #1 bestseller, it says, in terms of counseling. He is a marriage counselor as well. 436-ME-TV, option 11. We're here for the full 60 minutes as usual.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
Anyway, we're back here on the program live with Ron McClain, and he's written this book. I'm going to try to hold this up without getting the reflection in there. I don't know if you can see that well. It's pretty light in color, so it's going to kind of wash out. Anyway, it's called The Resurrection Marriage, Breathe New Life into Your Relationship. And so before I get into the book and what marriage is all about, let me ask you, why are you against gay marriage?
Well, from a Christian standpoint, I believe that God created man and woman, and throughout the scriptures, God has been very clear about husbands and wives, the roles of both.
Where does it say that in the Bible?
Well, Genesis
Okay.
is where it starts.
Okay.
Adam and Eve, as they say, not Adam and Steve.
Okay.
But then in the New Testament, there's several passages. The most notable would be Ephesians chapter 5, that talks about the role of the husband to love his wife, and for the wife to respect her
But does it
husband.
specifically say do not interact in any kind of intimate way with members of the same sex.
Yes.
It does. It specifically says do not.
In Romans chapter 1, there's a long list of things that are prohibited, immoral, and the gay population would say, well, that was back then. This is now. And you'll find arguments on both sides, and I respect what people think and believe. From my perspective, God created kids to have a mom and a dad because we bring different qualities and different characteristics to those kids so that they can grow up in a healthy way.
Right, and although years ago, back in 2,000 years ago, let's say during the Roman Empire, okay, we know that there were gays back then. Okay, there were homosexuals back then.
Right.
There were no such thing as gay rights. In a different time, different era, of course.
Right.
So it's nothing new. It goes back to the Stone Age, does it not?
Oh yeah. I mean, it goes back to early in the Old Testament. There was homosexuality going on, bestiality.
Right.
There's all kinds of weird stuff. In fact, the church at Corinth, there was an instance of somebody having sex with their stepmom. And that was called out by the Apostle Paul. So, yeah.
Corinth, that's in Greece, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Southern Greece, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. What's your question?
Well, it's not so much a question. I don't think myself personally that Swinzer ever made that good a mayor in my book, but she ought to go and read what it says in Romans about practicing the gay lifestyle. And if the good Lord had meant for that to be, why did he not create Adam and Bruce instead of Adam and Eve? And throughout the Bible, it makes reference to that kind of thing more than once. So Mayor Swinzer didn't get my vote to start with, and she won't ever get it for any office. And thank you very much for taking my call. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you very much. But you're going to get, like you said, Ron, you're going to get the people on the other side of the argument. They're going to say, look, we live in a free society. We don't believe in the Bible. And you know what? I'll bet there are those gays that do believe in the Bible, but they think what they're doing is okay still. And they have their opinion, and they view the Bible in a different way that you do.
Right.
The perception is different.
Right. And that's a good point. We do live in a free society, and gays do have, the privilege of believing and practicing what they want. That's what's nice about our culture is we do have that choice.
Right.
However, the question is what's healthy and what's really good, especially I'm thinking in the area of kids.
Right.
Because, I grew up without a mom for a couple of years because she died when I was young, and it just had an incredible impact on me in a negative way. And so if somebody grows up with two moms or two dads, and I know that they separate those out, and one of the people is a mom, one's a dad. But you get certain things from your dad that you don't get from your mom, and vice versa. And so God knew that when he created Adam and Eve and asked them to populate the earth. So I respect people's opinion, but I disagree with their opinion because I think God has set it up in the way that he wanted it set up in a healthy way.
And you don't discriminate. I just want to clarify. You do not discriminate against gays or anybody else.
No.
Race, creed, color.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We had a lesbian couple come to one of our classes, and they wanted to improve their communication, and, they were welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Caller, what's your question? You're on the air.
What's that?
Yeah. Turn down the set. Turn down your sound on your TV and talk. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Have you got that sound turned down yet, sir? Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, we cut him off a little quick there. Leave him on just for another, another minute or so on the next call. Caller, when you call in, please turn down your sound. Call back at 436-ME-TV option 11 and chime in. Got another call coming in? No? Okay. So the motto is live and let live, right? Is that right, Ron?
What do you mean by that?
Well, live and let the other people live and let someone else judge, not you be the judge.
There's only one judge and lawgiver, and that's God. I am not the judge. I am called, however, to make judgments. And that is that...
but you make judgments on attitude, not whether or not they're gay or not.
Yeah, so you asked me what my viewpoint was, and my viewpoint is marriages between a man and a woman. The law is gay marriage, and I respect that. So.
Okay. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning, John. Sir, unless this gentleman has read the Bible in the original ancient language it was written in, he's not reading the Bible, he's reading a translation of the Bible. Also on homosexuality, the ancient Jews were an Aquarian society, and they wanted a high birth rate, and that is why they banned homosexuality. Today, you could say that with overpopulation, being a homosexual might be a benefit. Not that I am a homosexual or even particularly like them. But this reference to the Bible as the final word, I think, is ridiculous in this day and age when we've been to the moon. And that is my comment, gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Good day.
Okay, so he's challenging your interpretation of the Bible.
Well, that's okay. He can do that. And, the comment about we've been to the moon, so why believe the Bible? Well, the Bible says that God spoke and created the universe with one word, including the moon. So I would say God's authority is above what he's talking about.
Yeah, and with reference to gay marriage in Proposition 8, why did that even come to the forefront anyway? I mean, it's a political issue. Prop 8 is a political issue.
Right.
Do you look at it as a political / religious issue?
Are you talking about originally or with Ashley Swearingen?
Originally, in 2008.
Yeah.
Is it both a political and religious?
I think so.
It is?
I think so, yeah. Well, anytime you have an issue that's a hot button issue like
abortion,
anytime
gay
you
marriage,
have that, it's going to be both religious and political. I don't think you can separate them.
All right, we're going to talk about the book. I promise we'll get to it. We have plenty of time left here with Ron McClain. He's a marriage counselor. He is of Christian faith, and he wrote this book called The Resurrection Marriage. Back with your phone calls, 436 MeTV option 11. Remember, try to turn down your sound when you call in.
Tune in to Heartland for the best in true country music. Relive vintage specials, one-of-a-kind concerts, and country music's earliest videos. Heartland is the heart of country. The only place where you can find country music, country stars, and country lifestyles 24/7. Heartland, the heart of country.
Now on channel 13.2.
Hey, back here on Connect with me. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. What's your question?
Is this Mr. Mallows?
Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead, quickly.
Okay. Well, I'm having a hard time because I'm watching television. I don't have the sound on, but I have a hard time relating to what I'm saying here. Ask your interviewer there, what part of the Bible, New Testament, Old Testament, did he read where Jesus ever mentioned anything about homosexuality? I'm not homosexual. But what part of the Bible does he quote that says that Jesus ever spoke one way or the other about homosexuality?
Okay.
You still there?
Yeah, we're still here. I mean, Ron can hear you. He can hear you himself. He'll answer the question.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate.
Ask him.
Yeah, well,
give us a quote. Tell the rest of the audience what part of the Bible it says that in.
All right. Okay. I think he already answered that question because I did ask him, but go ahead and reiterate. Where did Jesus and when did Jesus say, do not mix, do not, be intimate with someone of the same sex?
Well, Christianity is not based on just the sayings of Jesus. If you pick up a Bible, you'll see that there's the Jewish Old Testament, the Christian New Testament combined as one, and there are plenty of verses. If you just Google homosexuality in the Bible, you'll find all kinds of verses about that. Romans chapter 1 is probably the main passage where the Apostle Paul talks about that. There are plenty of topics that Jesus didn't necessarily address. His whole thing was love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love others as yourself.
He did not speak out against homosexuality?
I can't think of a verse where he did. However, he did address, marriages and those sorts of things, but you can't just pick and choose what you're going to believe in the Bible. I mean, the Apostle Paul may not have talked about gambling, but maybe in the Old Testament it did. So you've got to take the Bible as a whole, not just.
But Jesus did not mention homosexuality specifically, did he?
No.
He did not. Okay. Hey, I want to get to the book here, and it's called The Resurrection Marriage. And I haven't read the book, but I do want to take one thing that I just read here just momentarily while you were talking, and it says, you talk about the blueprint of marriage. In your opinion, what is the blueprint for a good marriage? My parents were married 65 years. It was not all a bed of roses. You know, they grew up in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s, hard times.
Right.
So what's your blueprint for marriage?
Yeah. And John, I think most marriages, I've been married almost 45 years, and our marriage hasn't been all roses, and I think most marriages aren't. However, a blueprint of a good marriage is a marriage where there's humility, forgiveness, good communication skills, being able to work through conflicts, and basically being friends, even sometimes when you want to send the other people away.
You didn't mention love.
I'll talk about that in a minute.
All right. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. See, I was listening.
Hi, John. This is the guy that just spoke to you a little while ago. Hey, ask the person you're talking to about Corinthians, and ask him people attribute Corinthians to Paul, but it's not necessarily that true. But anyway, what is quoted is that not many of you, he meant the audience, were not prostitutes, male prostitutes, and all these different things that are considered bad by these states. But ask him to elaborate on why he was saying that, because the original Christians were sinners, and that's who it was all geared towards.
Okay.
And that's all I have to say.
All right.
Well,
thank you.
The whole culture in Corinth, if you read the history of Corinth at that time, was very immoral. In fact, very much like our culture today. And Paul did talk about one situation where somebody was actually sleeping with his stepmother. And if you read Corinth, and by the way, it was written by the Apostle Paul. That's pretty clear in history. I think you'll find that there's just lots of different sins. We're all sinners. We all blow it. In no way would I say I'm better than anyone else. I'm just saying that particular culture had a problem with immorality, just like our culture does today.
Do you believe gays are going to hell?
You know what? There's only one reason why a person goes to hell, and that's if they have not put their personal faith and trust in Jesus Christ and his death, burial, and resurrection. So that's the bottom line. I'm not the judge. I can't say.
Okay. And I'm not judging either. I mean, my philosophy is live and let live, and let someone else judge. I'm not the judge.
Jesus said the way is narrow. I didn't say that. He did.
Yeah.
And so he said, unless, I am the way, the truth, and the life, unless you believe in me, you're going to perish. So those are his words.
Okay. We're talking with Ron McClain, and we're going to delve into his book more here on the program, 436 MeTV Option 11. Do come back. We're back in just a moment.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Back on the program here on Connect with Me this morning on Friday, talking about the book, The Resurrection Marriage, and talking about gay marriage, and talking about Proposition 8 and Mayor Ashley Swearingen, and the big reversal on Prop 8 to garner those votes from the Democratic and left side of the state of California. Good morning, caller. You're on Connect with Me. What's your question?
Hi, John. It's me again. Listen,
we're going to start. Hey, we're going to start charging you for calling in.
Well, I'm sorry, but I understood that this was like a free charge here. Anyway, why don't you ask ask your gentleman here that, no, I don't remember because it's been so many years since I've retired, but there's a scripture. I mean, there's a part where Jesus apparently is attributed to actually saying something to the effect that many people will be surprised who will enter the kingdom of heaven. And those that will think, oh, for sure, I will be there because I did such and such. Ask him about that scripture and see how much knowledge he has about it.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate the question. I'm not sure that's what the show is about. But I will say that you're right. Jesus did say there's going to be a lot of people surprised because of what they did. People are going to heaven not because of what they did or didn't do. They're going to heaven because they've put their faith and trust in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can go out and commit mass murder and then
not.
believe in Jesus and boom, you're saved.
No. The thief on the cross, he was saved. And yet, because of his heart attitude, not because of what he had done or not done.
All right. I want to get to the book.
Yes.
We talked about, the blueprint for marriage. Quickly, in 10 seconds, what's the blueprint for marriage? You kind of said it, but you left one word out, and that's love.
How about that? Left love out.
Unbelievable. See, I was listening.
And love is important. However, love is not enough.
It's not?
No, it's not.
Why?
Because love is action, right? Love is something you do for other people. But, John, I've counseled a lot of couples that still love each other, but they can't get along because they don't have good communication skills. They can't resolve conflicts. They don't know how to work through things. They get frustrated and walk away, but they still love each other. That's what they tell me.
So love is not enough.
No.
You need the communication skills. You need forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
You need friendship.
Right.
All of the above that goes with it. Okay. All right. Caller, what's your question? Go ahead.
Yes, this is Joe here from Fresno. Ask Mr. McClain here. Apparently, he's against homosexual marriages, gay marriages, but actually, I've read and I've seen where they adopt children or take in foster children, children that nobody else wants, children who have HIV, children who have cancer, children with severe behavioral problems. And apparently, it's been proven that they make excellent parents, and they help these children whereas good Christian couples, for whatever reason, will not accept these children. So in fact, then aren't these couples doing God's work? I mean, they're out there and they're providing something for the children. So I don't see
good point.
Where there's a problem with that.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the call. Good point.
Yeah, Joe, that's an excellent point. And just to let you know, I like to think of myself as not being against gay marriage, but I'm for traditional marriage. And I have a lot of friends that are gay. And I think you're absolutely right. I know of gay couples that are parents who make great parents because of the love they have for their kids. So I'm not against those kinds of things. I have a nephew that's gay. I love him to death.
Yeah.
So there are fine, outstanding citizens in our culture that are gay, lesbian. So I want you to hear that I love all people. I am for traditional marriage, and I do know there are gay couples that are good parents as well.
Getting back to what makes a good marriage, you said it takes more than love. It takes communication and learning how to get along. If you love each other, but you have different perceptions of the world, you have differing viewpoints on politics, on gay marriage, on whatever the case may be. You might even be a different religion.
Yes.
One might be a Muslim, one might be a Christian. Can the marriage still work?
I think the marriage can still work if the couple learns how to navigate through those differences through some good communication skills.
Do you teach that?
Yes, that's our primary role, is teaching skills to couples.
Do you talk about that in the book?
I do.
In fact, the book is about what?
Well, the first part is about needing to know what we need to know about having a good marriage. Second part is about skills, and it actually teaches some skills in the book. Third part of the book is about humility. In other words, you know what? It's not all about me. I need to serve my spouse. I need to take responsibility for my own good and bad. and learn how to work together with my spouse.
But doesn't it take two?
Absolutely.
I mean, if one person is willing to follow this book to a T and the other one isn't,
you're in trouble.
It's out the window, right?
Yeah, it takes two. It takes two people to get married. It only takes one to get unmarried.
Right. Another call coming in. Good morning, caller. What's your question?
Hey, John, it's me again. Hey, ask your interviewer.
He can hear you. He can hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can.
No, Ron can hear
I can
everything.
hear you.
Ron can hear everything you're saying.
Okay. Listen, ask your interviewer. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Everybody can hear you.
Okay. Well, okay. Ask him how many councils there has been to change the Bible, especially the New Testament, at least 3 times that I know of. And I mean, what does that mean? Does that mean God changed his mind? Or, I mean, it's kind of crazy when you start all this stuff about technicalities. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure I understood the question.
God changing his mind in the Bible several times?
Not that I know of.
No? You can't point out one time?
Ashley Swearingen did, but I don't think God did.
You don't think God did. Okay. Well, Ashley's changed her mind about high-speed rail, about Blong Jong, about the Democratic Party. I wonder if she's going to change now and maybe be registered as a Democrat.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah.
You know, because there's still time to register until the 20th.
Fiscal, conservative, social liberal, maybe.
Yeah, social liberal. So getting back to the book here, so you teach these skills. How many couples come into you and say, we filed for divorce, but we want to try to save the marriage?
Right.
A lot?
Yes.
Really? And can you save them?
Well, I don't save them.
They save themselves?
They have to work on it themselves. And I tell them that the first session, that I'm going to teach you some skills. You have to take these skills and use them, practice them. If you don't, you're not going to make it. I don't have the power to save anybody's marriage.
In other words, you don't have the power or the know-how or even the ability to go home with them and hold their hand to make sure they follow the rules in this book.
Exactly.
And they're not rules, they're suggestions.
They're principles.
How do you know they work?
They work because we've had 12 couples actually pull their divorce papers after learning these skills and being able to navigate the issues that they had that led to their filing of papers. So what I'm saying is people still love each other, they can't get along.
Yeah. All right, back in a moment. Oh, we got a phone call here. Let's take it real quick. Let's see. Okay, good morning. You're on Connect with me. It's got to be a quick question, please.
Hi, John. Look, ask Mr. McClain how many conical councils that he's aware of, and how many times the New Testament has been changed because of those conical, which are people that made decisions. Please.
Okay. New Testament being changed?
I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not a theologian. I'm a Christian counselor, and so I don't understand exactly what he's trying to get to. But
final moments, remaining moments with Ron McClain after the break, and then we got a new guest coming on, actually 2 in just a moment.
Most watched news channel in Europe.
Yeah, I know. Back here with Ron McClain. Ask you what the biggest problem with couples today. Would it be money? Would it be sex? Would it be trust? Biggest problem.
I think the biggest problem is commitment, and understanding that commitment is not just saying, oh, I'm going to marry you and you're going to change and we're going to be happy, but it's really being committed to changing yourself so that you can be the best spouse that you can be. Money is a huge problem, though.
Money is a huge problem.
Yes.
Is one of the problems saying, okay, I'm going to change that person after we get married?
Absolutely.
How many couples do you see that go through that and have that philosophy?
Most. There's a joke that a husband marries a wife hoping that she'll never change, and the wife marries the husband hoping he will change.
So most women hope to change their husbands?
Right. Yeah.
And how many couples do you see a week, would you say?
Probably 15 couples, because I have other responsibilities as well.
And the number one problem is money and commitment.
Money, commitment, and of course communication.
Okay, tell us where you can get where everybody can buy this book here.
You can get it at Amazon.com and just type in Resurrection Marriage.
Or how can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me, email fresnomarriage@gmail.com.
fresnomarriage@gmail.com, or go on Amazon and buy the book. And here it is right here. It's called The Resurrection Marriage, Breathe New Life into Your Relationship, written by Christian counselor, marriage counselor, Ron McClain. He's been a guest here before. He'll come back again, I'm assuming.
Sure.
You will?
Absolutely.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I love having you, Ron.
Thanks, man.
Good conversation.
Okay.
Good seeing you. Have a great weekend, and go Giants.
Go Giants, yeah.
All right.
Go Pablo.
All right, stay put there just for a second here. Ron McClain was our guest. We're going to be back with our two other guests here on Connect With Me on this Friday morning. Stay tuned for that and much more.
Tough TV is the first digital broadcast network to offer first-run original programming targeted at men. Tough TV features content that men are passionate about. Sports.
No matter what happens in the fight, good right, left. Coming on strong.
Lifestyle.
What we've done is we've created a technology that allows us to run video games in extremely powerful servers in server centers.
Drama.
Did you cause this?
Reality.
Welcome to this edition of Eye for an Eye. Now, today in court, we have the case of the reckless brother who tried to unravel his own family ties.
Talk.
Bam, we have a winner!
Specials.
I'm Dick Butkus. Welcome to the Butkus Awards TV special.
And movies.
Everybody on your knees, put your hands on the table.
Sports, lifestyle, drama, reality, talk, specials, and movies. Are you tough enough?
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
Welcome to a new beginning. An adventure that goes well beyond passive diversions. Empowering through exploration. Engaging your passions. Inspiring with lives lived outdoors. Come with us. Untamed Sports TV.
You can find Untamed Sports on over-the-air channel 13.8.
It's Sully and Russ on the Big Biz Show.
It's your biz.
And maybe they'll start listening to Baldwin McCullough.
Now, before you make any money moves, check in with the Brain Trust.
And you are starting your week off right.
All right, a lively conversation in the first half of the program. We have about 15 minutes left here on Connect With Me, of course, on this Friday morning, and we're going to be talking about soccer. And just in a couple of weeks, some young kids will be enjoying a soccer clinic that will take place right here in the city of Fresno. I'll put up the graphic first, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, this clinic is going to be conducted by the Los Angeles Galaxies at Maple Creek Elementary School here in Fresno. That's an American professional soccer team, all part of the MLS, the Major League Soccer, of course. Maple Creek Club is one of 40 clubs that plays their games in Fresno, and Clovis is part of a junior soccer league, as we'll see some video here. No, don't come back to me. And they were awarded the clinic through GM Chevrolet. Now keep in mind, the actual clinic will be conducted by the Galaxy training team, the coaches, and some special assistants. This marks the second year in a row that the clinic will take place. It all starts at 5:30 in the evening on the night of Wednesday, October the 15th, and it takes place at Maple Creek Elementary School here in the city of Fresno. Live in our studio right now is Coach Mike Lawson and Pete Schneider, the league's vice president. They are here to talk about the clinic. They're here to take your phone calls if you're into soccer, which a lot of people are. Supposedly it's big here in the city of Fresno. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Back with our two guests in just a moment.
Find Untamed Sports on over-the-air channel 13.8.
Hey, we're back here on the program Connect with Me. We're here with Mike Lawson and Pete Schneider. Good morning, gents. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good.
Super.
So the soccer clinic coming up, huh?
Yes,
October the 15th.
yes,
Talk
yeah.
a little bit about this.
Yeah.
And well, I want to mention and stress, though, that the actual Galaxy players won't be here, but you'll have some coaches that are here, and who else is going to show up? Go ahead.
The LA Galaxy has a training crew that General Motors works with and sends out for soccer clinics for youth soccer clubs, organizations, and leagues all across America. And Fresno is very fortunate to have received one of these again this year.
So is this like a prestigious thing?
In a way. You've got to have a lot of participation. And last year we had over 200 kids participate in the clinic. This year I think we're already maxed out at 200 or 220.
Yes.
So they like us.
And so you're not accepting anymore, right? What does it cost to get in?
It's free.
It's
totally
free of
Totally
charge.
free.
So it's a free clinic. So
Yeah.
what are they going to teach these kids? Talk about
Go
that.
ahead.
There'll be just basic soccer skills promoted through about 10 or 11 different stations. The first station will start with the smallest children, 3, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds mixed in together. The next station will be a little older group, the 6 to 8-year-olds, and so on and so forth. And it'll work all the way up to 12, maybe 13-year-olds, a few of those mixed in.
Okay, at a baseball clinic, let's say, I know what they teach. You know, they teach hitting, running, fielding, the basics of baseball. What are they going to teach here at this clinic? What did they do last year? Give us the basics of soccer, the skills that they're going to try to teach some of these kids at the early stages.
Well, for the youngest kids, in any sport, it's all about repetition. So in soccer, it's about touching that soccer ball as much as you can. So when you're 3, 4, 5, it's about dribbling, learning how to dribble with both of your feet. You get into the 6, 7, 8-year-old range, you want to pass as much and keep dribbling. And then when you get even older, the 12-year-olds or older, you're learning, tricks. You're dribbling and with both feet, and then you turn fast and you pass harder. So it just advances as you get older, but it's just about repetition.
So at the youngest age, let's say 5, okay, I'm just throwing that number out there, okay, what kind of skills are they teaching at the age of 5?
Dribbling,
basically.
dribbling, short passes, and then trying to shoot in little goals.
Do they teach the rules of the game?
Yes. We teach the fundamentals. Go ahead, Mike.
Yes, there's cursory rules are applied even at a young age. They play on a more condensed field, a shorter field, if you will. U6s, under 6 age group, actually will conduct 2 games at the same time, 3 versus 3 for player skills. Basic rules are taught, but not all the full enforcement is there. For example, a handball might be allowed at U6s, or offsides is definitely allowed at the younger ages. The idea is to teach them some of the basics of soccer so that they get a grasp of the game, and then also maintaining the focus on fun.
Yeah. Okay, caller, you're on the air talking about soccer. What's your question?
Yeah, I have a grandson. He's 5 years old. And he's really into the soccer, and this would be perfect. Can you ask him that? Let me ask him directly. Now, 5-year-old, that's a good age for him? I'm the grandfather. But
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, of course. Yes, of
Yeah.
course. At
Pardon?
soccer, there's really not too young of an age to get them started.
In the Clovis Youth Soccer Program, they start at 3, and you've got to be an advanced 3-year-old to really start at that age. But generally, 4 or 5-year-old is a perfect age, and at that age, it's all about having fun. You're learning a little bit about teamwork and just being out with friends and just having fun. And then it advances once you get under 8s when you're 6 and 7 years old, and etc.
Yeah. Now, with soccer, do you have to worry about certain things with your kids the way you do with football? Because football is a contact sport. So many parents don't let their kids go out to play football because of the possibility of injury. We're hearing so much more about head injuries now, even at a younger age, in Pop Warner football, let's say, for example. Is there anything to worry about in terms of soccer that could endanger your child in terms of injury? There isn't the physical contact that you would have in football, though.
It's not in football.
That
It's
doesn't
every
mean
down.
it's less intense. I'm talking about full, all-out contact.
Generally, there's some hitting at the older ages, under 12 and above. There's some contact, a few plays during every game, not every single down of every single player of every single game like in football. So there's contact, but it's usually not as rough and as tough, and it is not as hard, and a lot less.
So is there anything that parents should have to worry about with their kids in terms of injury?
Not at a young age. Nothing past the occasional skint knee or just learning to fall down and then get back up. It's the same as a child at home learning to walk. They fall down a few times as they're learning to walk. They learn to get back up, that they're hurt. It's an emotional period, but they get over it very quickly. I would add, at the older age, there is sensitivity to head injuries at a high school or college level, with headers and bumping heads going for a ball, for example. You can, knock two skulls together. It can equate in a concussion.
Yeah, I was going to say, because of the headers at the older age, I don't know what age that starts, is there any danger of head? Obviously, they don't, there's no headgear.
No.
True.
Like there is in football or lacrosse, let's say. There is headgear, or even rugby.
Right.
So what are the dangers of becoming, having a head injury with soccer if you in fact decide to use your head as a springboard to kick the ball?
Yeah.
At a young age, it's minimal at the most, but as you get
probably
older,
younger kids can't even do it. Probably.
True,
No,
and
correct.
that's the very reason why. At a young age, you haven't developed all of your soccer skills quite yet. Hitting the ball with your head and having it go somewhere constructively comes later at U12s, at under 12s.
And is there a risk?
Not with the ball, I would say. Hitting somebody else's head, there could be, but I mean it's more a graze versus point to point.
Right, but there is
more football.
pushing and shoving.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Remember, football is originated as a European sport, and it's referred to everywhere else in the world as football. Soccer is football. So
I know
you play
that.
with your feet.
Yeah.
So it's a game mostly played with the feet. Occasionally, there's a bump, by the knee or the head, to move the ball to where you want it to go.
Yeah, we always have that. We got about 3 minutes left. We always have this debate here in the office. Soccer is on the rise. Fresno should get an MLS team. Soccer is more popular now than football and baseball. Do you see that to be true?
With what's happened with Chick-Chauncey Park and all that kind of stuff, I think an MLS team would do very well here. I know there's a large capital infusion of money, and I've heard 35 to 50 million or whatever those numbers are. I think it would do very well with the population we have here and the lack of a pro team of any sort, so to speak. So I'm a firm believer it would do very well here.
I couldn't agree more.
I mean, football and baseball certainly have more of a history and tradition with this country.
Right.
Because it dates back, especially baseball dates back to the Civil War days with Abraham Lincoln. They were playing baseball games.
Right.
Football is not so old. It dates back, 75 years. So there is...
First college football was about 1880, 1870, but
it wasn't the form of football that we know today.
True.
The form of football we know today with the NFL is about 70 plus years old.
Right.
75 years old. So it doesn't have the history and tradition that those two other sports has. Even basketball has more of a tradition in this country. So will it take longer?
It'll probably take longer long term to develop, but soccer is a type of sport that you can play at a very young age with minimal amount of equipment. A pair of cleats, even cleats aren't always necessary for a backyard game of soccer. So at a young age, if you've got a ball, a soccer game has began.
Go ahead.
I would just add to that, it seems like every generation there's a little bit more influence in soccer. More kids are playing. This year in World Cup, the USA went to the next level.
Yes.
We've got coaches from Europe now in the supporting the USA, and I see us getting better and better.
But do you think that more kids are going away from football because their parents don't want them to get hurt and moving them into soccer, and football's losing some of those participants?
If it was 5 or 10% 10 years ago, I bet you it's 15 or 20% now. So I think the answer to that is yes. I don't know if it's a huge number, but it's a growing concern.
All right, we only have about 30 seconds left, so let's put up the graphic one more time and show the viewers when and where. It'll take place on Wednesday, October the 15th at 5:30, Maple Creek Elementary School. And there's the location right there, the LA Galaxy involved in this special clinic. It'll be, well, it says, the graphic says 4:30, but I thought you said it was 5:30.
Check-in begins at 4:30.
Check-in begins at 4:30. The clinic begins at 5:30. Gents, we're out of time. Mike Lawson, Peter Schneider.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
If we could just add a plug for
quickly.
Michael Chevrolet, we'd like to thank Michael Chevrolet very, very much for what they do for soccer here locally.
Okay, good luck with the clinic.
Thank you
October
again.
the 15th at Maple Creek Elementary School. Have a great weekend, guys.
Great.
Back with another edition on Monday here on Connect with Me. Have a great weekend and go Giants.